Hi, this is Param Eftekari. I'm co-founder and EVP of Research for GTRA. I'm joined today with Dr. Ron Ross, fellow at NIST. Ron, we just heard you give a talk about your views on the changing landscape of security. And why don't you tell the audience, if you don't mind, about your thoughts on what unconventional threats we're facing today?
Well, we talk about unconventional threats in terms of we've built for the last 10 years of the FISMA a very, very solid framework. Lots of controls, risk management framework, and all the fundamentals that we need to protect our infrastructure. The things we haven't done quite so well is take down some of those systemic barriers. We talk about this notion of complexity, for example, building very complicated groups of IT infrastructures that are very difficult to defend. We talk about integrating security requirements into the mainstream organizational processes like the acquisition process, or the engineering process, or enterprise architecture, or the system development lifecycle. Most of the time, our security teams are not integrated into those mainstream processes. So it's no surprise that sometimes the requirements don't get addressed to the degree they should. If we follow the integrated project team concept, where we have those stakeholders from security at the table early in the process, then you get a much better probability of making sure those requirements are met, or doing the appropriate trade-offs with regard to risk management with those program managers, system owners, and people who have to build, operate, maintain those systems.
Absolutely. So from your perspective then, what is the new front of security threats right now?
The second front is to be able to take the standards and guidance, the controls, the frameworks, the risk management, and to be able to now use those in an organization in the integrated project team environment. So this means taking the security teams that people have within the organization, sometimes in their own little organization, the bubble, and fanning those folks out into all of those areas where they can actually articulate those requirements. So in the acquisition process, instead of having an acquisition that has one security requirement that says that the system must be FISMA compliant, let's get the security folks in there to articulate what those security requirements should look like. So the contractors then can build the appropriate things and show evidence they follow a well-defined process. Integrating those security folks into the engineering process. So when system engineers are building out those systems, the security folks are right there by their side offering advice. Here's how you protect the systems with regard to cybersecurity. Going through those trade-offs, requirement by requirement. We have so many different areas where we can actually diffuse this vast amount of knowledge in the cybersecurity area into those mainstream things that we do every day.
So then, if you have any kind of words of advice or solutions for the audience, what would that be?
I think the most important thing we can do is to get senior leaders involved now in this whole integration process. It doesn't take any new legislation or executive orders to have an organization say, we're going to make sure that our security and our privacy professionals are integrated in all of our important organizational processes. That can be done locally. It can have a very near-term effect. I talked about my friend Tim Ruin, who's the CISO at the Census Bureau. He's already done a very good prototype of this whole effort with his virtual desktop environment, working with the program manager and that whole new development effort very early in the process. Going through the trade-off analyses, requirement by requirement. At the end of the day, I think the program manager at Census will tell you they saved an enormous amount of money by having the right people at the table early in the process. That's kind of what we're talking about with this notion of the second front.
Fantastic. And Ron, in closing, I know you've been a long time, part of the family here at GTRA. I wonder if you could share with the folks what you think is valuable about the organization and why you keep coming back to support us.
I think conferences in general are very important for our community. It gives us a chance to come out and meet our colleagues, people who are on the front lines of the cybersecurity fight. Getting the opportunity to network with those folks, understanding what their problems are, bringing in the people that you bring in as presenters to help share the state-of-the-art tools, techniques, technologies, philosophy. That kind of information sharing is invaluable to people who are trying to do the right thing but yet don't have a chance to really reach out to their colleagues routinely. They're so busy in the day-to-day operations. Sometimes it's worth the price to get away for a few days and mingle with the folks who are doing what you're doing, sharing ideas, so you don't go down those dead ends and repeat the same mistakes. Yep. And you come away with a few really big ideas that you can go back and actually.
Fantastic, Ron. Well, thanks for your time and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.